He was eating good. He was not a person who is, who believed that you should eat only just 15 grams of rice just for the life to, to sustain there. That he didn't have that mentality. When Jesus performed the miracles, I liked it, and he gave fish also as much they wanted. That's what it says, John's Gospel. Fish also as much they wanted. Fish everybody will serve less, right? Bread they will give, but fish they will. Now Jesus was not like that. Give them as much you wanted. He let them eat. But the thing is, Jesus did not give them every day. 3 days they were with Jesus and then the third day. For us it is not like that. 9 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 9 o'clock, it goes back. Jesus was not like that. Martha was little bit, she was very good in hospitality. I thank for Martha. She's a nice sister, God did not really reveal truth to Mary, but Martha, she said that I am the resurrection and life, those who believe in me. All those truths came to Martha. People praise Mary so high and Martha so low. No, Martha was a precious person. But Martha went wrong in one day. She wanted to spend time in kitchen while Bible class is going on here. Jesus said only one curry is needed. That's what she meant. Now honestly. Commentator, you can take Charles Riley, for example, study Bible, say only one dish is needed. When you have Bible classes, only one dish is needed, because others come on. Here class is going on, 10 sisters there, laboring. So for whom is the Bible class? No, don't do that. Just prepare some rice and one curry or something. Come, sit down and listen to the word of God. Martha made a feast after Lazarus was resurrected. The Lord didn't say anything against it. It was a big feast. That's an occasion. But now it's a Bible class. So we have this concept that life consists in the abundance of things. Martha felt that unless the table is filled with 10 dishes, life at Bethany is not right. No, life in Bethany is not measured by the abundance of the dishes. It is measured by love, fellowship, worship, and all those things. So we need the right philosophy of life. The right philosophy of life. Yeah. So labor not for meat which perishes. I am afraid that a lot of believers, good believers, and sometimes even elders and deacons, and sometimes even full-time workers and missionaries, they are laboring for things that perishes. They may be doing the Lord's work and all, but their mind is always occupied by the question, how? I don't have this, I don't have that. The Lord said, He will give it to you. He will give it to you. Our Lord is so faithful. So discipleship shift the fulcrum of your labor. Yes. The fulcrum, that's where you rotate everything. That's the eternity. The eternity becomes the focal point from where you operate. Man essentially works for things that perish. Even those who live to amass the precious metals, silver and gold, they don't realize they are all perishable things. So don't labor for perishable things. Jesus said those words in the context of people seeking Jesus because of some physical need. This he said immediately after feeding the 5,000. And after feeding the 5,000, Jesus asked the disciples to cross Tiberias, and Jesus also went over there, and the people wanted to see Jesus so badly. Master, where were you? When did you come? He said, you asking this only because you ate them. Jesus laid the axe right at the root of these people said, you are asking me, where were you? We missed you. We missed you because we missed the breakfast nights, That's the context in which Jesus said that labor not for the food that perishes, but labor for, that which lasts for eternity. So we have to have this perspective, Yes, definitely. Yeah, definitely. In verse 27, that same chapter, John chapter 6 verse 27, we read it, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. There we said, what was it? Said that 27, the last second part said, which the Son of Man shall give unto you, for him hath God the Father sealed. Very difficult to understand. What does that mean? The Father sealed. Yeah. Father sealed. Means whom the Father has approved. Or this contract, this principle is a sealed principle. This contract is a sealed contract. What is that? You labor for things that do not perish. God will take care of. Yes. God will take care of. Jesus is sealed on that principle. The principle that every follower of Jesus Christ will be laboring for things that last forever. Not things that will last for now. It says, in a sense, it is sad to say that all Christian countries are rich countries. All Christian countries are rich. Go to Europe, they are not now Christian, but they were once, Christian countries. They are all very rich, very rich. In Africa, South Africa is the richest. So they have the more Christians there. Europe, all the countries. America, Canada, all the countries. Come to Asia, Africa now got a lot of Christians, the countries. Ethiopia was a very rich country when Haile Selassie was there. Since communism came, it's gone. It's gone. Christianity, because Christians are hard-working people. Lord said the principle, you shall not eat unless you work. That's a principle, yes. But Jesus said you shall not eat. In another sense, you should work only enough to. Your work should be to provide your basic needs. You should not be working to amass things. Jesus never did, apostles never did. So we should also have that mentality in us. Jesus essentially is saying that there are two sets of values one could pursue. Things which from the earthly perspective or things from eternal perspective. Things that perish and things that do not perish. Anything related only to this present life is earthly. Anything that relates to our coming life is eternity, eternal life. So the basic theme led to a wider and deeper discussion of God giving the manna, the Heavenly Father. It follows a wonderful discussion. Very wonderful. John chapter 6, your fathers ate the manna, but they died. But Jesus said, I am the bread that came down from heaven. He who eats me shall never. See the perspective change. Manna came from heaven. Those people were so proud that we ate the heavenly food. Jesus said, yes, but you died. Where are your parents? Where are those people who ate the manna? Even their bones are not available. Right? But I tell you, the food that I give is my flesh, my life. He's not talking about people coming and eating this, but it's the essence. My blood and my flesh means I am giving my life. That's what the food is. Appropriating me. I told about vicarious living. Appropriating me. Totally. It is as if people have eaten me and with the power and the strength they are leading a life for me. I died for them, they ate me. Now everybody who ate me is living my life. That's what Jesus wanted. Man, what a statement Jesus said. Your fathers did eat manna in the wilderness and are dead. But Jesus said, I am the living bread which came down from heaven, and if any man eat this bread, he shall live forever. And then said, the bread that I will give is my flesh, which is for the life of the world. John chapter 6, verse 51. Living for things that perish, or live for Christ, or to say, live Christ, will never perish. We need to make a choice. We need to make a choice. No one could opt for both. Opting for both simply means you are opting for this world. Because no man can serve two masters. You forsake one and you take. The eternal perspective is the key of discipleship. Make people to shift the point of their reference puesto from the world into eternity. Can we teach people to do that? When there is a shift in the point of reference of their life and thinking, I would say there is a tremendous revolutionary change. The whole life will be changed. People will be thinking about eternity. Every action they take, they send their child. Will this, if I send this child to this school, will help it, eternal values? Will that add it to eternal dimensions? Everything you do, you ask this question. Everything. When people begin to ask questions like that, if I make this home, will that add it to heavenly dimension? Yes, it could. Big homes are not bad at all. I don't think somebody can have 6,000, square feet home. What is wrong? You should use it for the glory of God, for eternal dimension. Holding Bible classes and camps, people coming and living, and it is continuously being used. Then that investment is good. Otherwise, for cobweb, spiders living everywhere. What eternal? One day you come and you take a broom and gone. Eternal perspective is gone. That's what is happening to many people. It's a bunch of cobweb. Just one swipe, it's gone. The perspective is gone. The other perspective, oh no. When people are there. So change the focus. Discipleship is a change of our point of reference, of our focus. It's a change of our values, a change of our pursuits, our goals, change of our relationship. I like Paul when he said 2 Corinthians 5, 14 through 21, he said, now no more we know anyone according to the flesh. Once we knew Jesus, now we know more. Our relationship all changed. Once people die, oh my brother, my sister, oh my brother-in-law, my uncle's uncle, my nieces, and this and people, now it's all in eternal perspective. The same uncle became, the godly man of God, the man who prays for me, the man who preaches the gospel, man who helps the poor, the needy. That changes, the relations changes. You talk about people differently. Even about mother or about father. My mother, not that who cooks, my favorite curries and favorite dishes and makes that and me. No. One who serves God's people, one who shows hospitality to hundreds of people, one who, taught me how to serve others. Let our mother be known by eternal perspective, not about the earthly perspective. That does not happen simply because they are born again. No. It happens only when they are disciples. Paul made mention of many people. Onesiphorus, who refreshed my soul. Mary, who labored much for me. Aquila and Priscilla, who laid their neck for me. See, it's all in the context of eternal perspective. Yes. We value our relations and friends, but there is no eternal perspective to it. It's all our blood relations or something that perishes there. Now we should have an eternal dimension. The focus has to be changed. How can we change people's focus? He starts with teaching them to obey all things. That includes all these things. It's not easy. So Jesus was demanding total change in our loyalty, total change. When the Lord gave the commandment to the Old Testament saints, thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all your heart means? With all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind, with all your might. What does that mean? Everything you have belongs to God. You cannot even take 1% out of it to give somebody else. That's what. Because if you give all for the Lord, then what remains? So if somebody says that I'm sorry, I gave my whole might to the Lord. My whole soul to the Lord. Yes. The Lord does not want us to keep even 1% out. Someone has invented this theory of tithing. We give only 1/10 of our soul and 1/10 of everything, Our personality is 1/10 is for God's and 90% for ourselves or for whatever. No, that doesn't work. So Jesus was demanding total loyalty. Total loyalty. Our existential purpose should be changed. Why you exist? Why you live? If that question is asked, why you live in this world? Every question, why do you get married? Why you study? Why are you doing a PhD? Why are you cultivating? Your farming, your estate. The answer should be the eternal perspective. There should be an eternal dimension to it. If not, I say you wasted your life. The Lord will put a big zero there. Yes. Lot of people are trying to make the world better without an eternal perspective. You can do that same thing with an eternal perspective. But very few people have that. Yes, sir, a doctor can be treating the patient with an eternal perspective, then the treatment will be very much different. The doctor will be talking to him about and he will be showing the love and everything that God wants to give, and he will be saying that I will pray for you. You believe in prayer or not, but I am a doctor, I don't heal. It's a God who heals. So before the surgery I pray, before prescribing the medicine I pray. So why don't we pray, Lord? Well, everywhere you can, even a teacher can do that. Children don't think I'm a very good teacher. No, God gives me the grace to love you, patience and all. So you pray for me every day. Lord, make my teacher a better teacher. I pray for you. But you mention the name of God, you lose your job, right? A good example of people doesn't know, a biology teacher, now biology need to be teacher. He is teaching evolution, theory of evolution for livelihood, but on Sunday he is preaching on creation. 6 days he is teaching evolution. All these theories and hypotheses, of course, you say hypothesis. Never take time to say that children don't believe it. For examination purpose you write it, but you believe that God created this heaven and the earth. If you are fired, say praise God, I got fired for the glory of God. Or what else? We have to have a perspective. We have to have a perspective. We won't do many things, because we have to say that I'm a disciple of the Lord. I can do that because my God is not glorified. I may enjoy doing it, but my God does not enjoy it. I am committed to my God. So our existential purpose should be changed. When such a shift happens, it is obvious to all. It is not a superficial, facial plastic cosmetic surgery, no. It will be a change from the heart. The doctor can fix your face better, but he cannot put a smile on your face. In Western countries and all, you have funeral home parlors where dead bodies are always taken there. And they know how to put a smile on that body, honestly. They can stretch the lips in such a way that the dead person is smiling. Everybody will come and say, oh, it's not just such a nice smile. But the thing is, he never smiled in his life. But that smile is not counted anywhere else. It is no value. Value. So only God can change our heart, that will bring a smile on the face. The plastic surgeon cannot do that. Yes. The world can bestow all its riches upon us, but not even 1 minute's peace the world can give. See, now Modi has done something with our money, right? We all lost our peace of mind. It's like that. I stood there in the queue for 2 hours. Senior citizens and all, there were many senior citizens, I guess. When my chance came and they said that, I'm sorry, we can take your money only 2 days after because It has to be. I thought that it is 1 week, this week and next week. No, it is 7 days from the day you draw your money to the other.
To the next.
No. So I thought last week I took, this week. No, that's not the way, sir. This is the way. I said, this is my money. You calculate, right? But that's the way. If I was not a Christian, I urgently needed money. If I was a Christian, I had money in the bank. It's not that I don't have money, but I can take it. If I was not a Christian, I would be murmuring and all that. Well, thank God, teaching me patience. Praise the Lord. Man does not live by money alone. But by every word from the mouth of God. That's true. These days you have to say that. Man does not live by money alone. There should be a heavenly perspective to that. This is my point. How we react when we are sick, when dear ones die, Nowadays, death, Bible says that whenever people died, did they laugh? What did they do whenever people died in the Bible? Mourning. You go to any funeral home today, there is no mourning. Why? When Stephen died, what did they do? A big lamentation, that's what said that. When Dorcas died, what did the women do? They were all weeping. Were they unspiritual people? Death is a place, separation is always painful. When their children go to somewhere, they cry. But there is a false philosophy that to cry is not sign of maturity. Tear is not a weakness, it's a strength. We have become so weak, our tear glands do not work. Jesus wept. Isn't that the sweetest verse in the Bible? Paul said, don't cry like, weep like heathen. There's a difference in heathen weeping. They have no hope. They hit their head on the walls and they, no, we don't do that. We don't either rejoice when somebody dies. Christians weep. Well, this is very important. I think our people. Now, this is all perspective. I'm saying this is all perspective. Does not mean we have to cry and that's not the point. But our eyes should be filled with tears. Yes. Yes, it is. Jesus wept. All the Jewish people came to weep. When Mary ran, what did they say? That she's going to weep. That was a normal. If you don't weep normally, you will have psychological, psychiatric problem later. Because you are preventing natural emotions, blocking it. It should not be blocked. You ever read the story, the soldier who didn't weep or who couldn't weep? Yeah. The soldier's wife.
Whom they brought the baby.
Yes, something like that. Then they finally brought the baby, then she wept. Yeah? Yeah, it's a soldier died and the wife won't be with the body, dead body came, the wife just stay there like this. So everybody was concerned she will go mentally ill. Everybody tried to make her weep. She won't. She's frozen like a stone. Just look at the dead body like this. They tried different methods to make her weep. Then somebody, went and they had a little baby. Somebody brought the baby and said, no, this baby does not have a father. Here is, then she cried. And then everybody was happy. Let her cry for a while. Otherwise, she will be in mental asylum. There are places where we should weep, we should weep. We should shed tears, we should shed tears. That's not a sign of weakness, that's a strength, Because Jesus commanded, weep with those who weep. That's what Jesus said. These days I can weep with anybody who weeps. There's nobody to weep with. You alone weep there. Weeping with those who weeping and rejoicing with those who rejoicing. Plenty of rejoicing. Oh yes, birthday parties and anniversary parties and cutting cakes and ice cream and balloons and this and that and jokes and all that. But you know, even there are jokes when people had that. When I was in Palai, one day my family we were going to take a family picture. So the house owner asked, which studio are you going? So there is a famous studio, name is Mr. So I said, so he said, don't go there. I said, why? That's the biggest studio. He said, they don't have sense. When George Gutrapalli was the MP there, MP died, so the whole family was sitting. So the photographer then said, everybody smile, say cheese. So that became a big joke, a funeral photograph saying everybody say cheese. So sometimes people don't have senses, And I sometimes think even Christians don't have the sense. Where to weep and where not to weep. So, Jesus was demanding a new value system. Our point of reference is different. We become spiritual, eternal in that. With that eternal value, there is plenty of place for tears, plenty of place for joy. It's a wonderful shift, and we are making disciples means that. Making people and to live in the eternal perspective. You are buying, you are selling, your education, your marriage, your childbirth, everything should be from an eternal perspective. Yes, from an eternal perspective. We don't have that eternal perspective, we lost. We belong to the natural people who think that life consists in the abundance of things that we possess. No, it doesn't. You can have abundance of things, that's God's mercy, but so don't be superficial Christians, where you have a cosmetic surgery, the Lord is not interested in doing cosmetic surgeries, He is interested in heart transplantations. That's what He is. He breaks open our diaphragm and takes out our wicked heart, and He wants almost to put His heart there, so that we will love people just like Jesus did. We will see things just like Jesus. Looking at the world through the eyes of Jesus, as some said. Looking to the world, looking to people through the eyes of Jesus. So that's what we want. But many are not willing to do this. Yes. It was so in church, in the beginning, people were doing that. The response of those to whom the Lord said these words was, they said in John chapter 6 verse 60, they said, this is a hard saying. Who can hear it? This is a hard saying. Who can hear it? In another sense, not living for material things which has only a reference to this world, doing everything from an eternal perspective. Such things are very hard sayings. Who can endure these things? Verse 66 says, from that time many of His disciples went back and walked no more with Him. That's too much. This man won't even allow us to live. Allow us to live. Yes. Jesus said about, His meat to eat and His flesh to eat and drink, this. All that is about the spiritual values and what Jesus Christ came for and His death, what it accomplishes and all. People just could not take it. People just could not take it. No, they cannot. They were not ready. They were not ready. Yes. So we will continue. Yes. It's some perspective, as some said. It's some perspective. Yes. We needed to instill that perspective into our thinking, which is not easy. Brothers and sisters, which is not easy. But that's what real life is. After all, 60, 70, 80 years here, then eternity there. So what life is more important? If you can convert all your earnings, all your efforts in 60 years for eternity, last forever, you are a wise man. If everything you earned and achieved is going to be burned down here, you walk empty-handed, then it's a miserable person. So, 30, 40 years of misery here, or eternal blessedness there, or eternal misery there, some enjoyment here. This is something we have to think about it. Okay? Spread that.